Hello, and welcome to the Madagascar 3 Director Commentary. I am Conrad Vernon.
And I'm Eric Darnell.
And I'm Tom McGrath.
Welcome. We hope you enjoy your stay with us.
So we begin our story back in Africa, where we left off the second Madagascar. We had to rebuild the set because it got erased after the second movie.
Someone hit delete?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oops. This was the easiest sequence to animate in the film.
We did have to make it 3D, though.
Yes, that's true. This is straight out of 2.
If you remember from the second movie, too, they were off on their honeymoon after Skipper married the hula doll. But the actress who played the hula doll wasn't available for the third one.
I heard she ran off with a bobblehead.
A Russian stacking doll.
Did they just say they were never coming back?
Yes, they did, Alex.
Guys? Marty?
Oh, goody, you're here!
Ah!
Won't you just chew on this? I'm hungry. Nom, 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 nom. Ah! Oh! Ow! I'm just...
Look at the
And
balloons.
There's the balloon. Ooh,
Creepy eyeball.
creepity creep. There it is. And, you know, designing these guys as old people is really fun as well. How are they going to age? And Gloria's glasses with their giant eyes in it. The art department did some great drawings of these guys.
Marty!
There's lots of subliminal messages in that dream. Go back and watch it again.
We were stuck here in Africa, and we were all super old and wrinkly.
I'm sure Kendall Cronkite, our production designer, counted the days since the last release and marked every day on the board behind Alex.
Yes.
Nope. But it's the next best thing.
Another day bites the dust.
Oh, this was like the opening to this movie was surprisingly one of the last ones we finished.
It was difficult.
It was a hard one. How do we start this? You know, so
It's tough because you have to balance, the people that have seen the other films and maybe people that are coming in new, and how much information, backstory do we need?
Yeah, and the dream was suggested by Noah Baumbach just to kind of highlight Alex's fears of growing old in Africa and kind of, in a fun way, remind us his fear of not getting back home.
You're the Statue of Liberty!
Bring me your huddled masses, baby.
And Melman, you're at the Brooklyn Bridge!
Actually, I'm the Triborough Bridge.
Wow.
did a great job on this mud model. It was again, this was one of the last things we saw before we finished off the movie. It looks really good. Times Square.
Here comes the Dwayne Reed joke.
9 Dwayne Reeds on the same street!
Yeah, for our worldwide audiences.
People will be laughing in New York and nowhere else.
Look, there's a little me.
That was for Noah.
All of us is...
We could do West Coast and have Walgreen, Rite Aid. I love looking at the crowds. There's always about 4 or 5 mafioso guys in there. You can always catch 1 or 2 funny-looking people in there.
Whenever we have to make a new Madagascar, the technology has changed so much compared to where the resolution was on the first movie. Just so you know. There's a sound effect coming up that we ended up cutting out and kind of missed it. And I wonder if Conrad would just
Sure.
do it live.
I would like to.
All right, here it comes. Hold on just a moment.
Oh, yay! My tummy is speaking to me.
Thank you, Conrad. We kind of missed that from the original mix, so thanks for Conrad for putting that in.
That's from my childhood Little Rascals memory. Wow.
Like a cake or something?
Yeah.
Inflatable cake?
They had the cake that they put all the prizes into, and there was a rubber glove, and it would expand and go, whoa, whoa. So,
We should just go to Monte Carlo and get them.
Maybe we should remix the movie and put that in.
Walk into a casino in Monte Carlo.
I don't know. Ask the rabbi.
Hey, I'm serious.
Come on, we can do it. We can do anything. It's us.
We're us.
You know, a lot of things you may not realize, although a lot of the sets in these movies are created with geometry, we call them, which can actually be lit. There's a lot of paintings in the background that you don't notice even in 3D. such as the skies and, on the horizon, even certain parts of the city in here that matte painters actually paint to fill in what's not there.
We just got back from premiering the movie in Cannes, and I actually, for the first time, went to this casino and saw this. I mean, it was completely recreated, building for building, and I had never been to Monte Carlo, so I went there while we were there, and it is exact. And I mean, it's very surreal.
Eric took a field trip there, too.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
We went with the art team and took thousands of pictures, and it's funny when we did the same thing in Rome and the Alps and everywhere else, London, and while all the tourists are taking pictures of the Colosseum, or the casino, we're out there taking pictures of manhole covers and curbs and flower bed borders, and because we need all that information to build this thing up.
Well, the art team did a fantastic job recreating it, because I literally went to the casino that the TV came flying out of, and it was pretty fantastic the way it was recreated. You could literally see where all the animals were, and it felt like like it had happened at one point.
That building that the TV flies out of is actually called the Hotel de Paris, but we took the name off because it would just be confusing, because we're in Monte Carlo, not Paris.
Okay, phase 1. We break into the casino,
This is what the roof looks like, too. We went up on the roof of the casino, and there's all these walkways, and it's just a maze up there. It's really amazing. Amazing maze.
3. We apologize to the penguins.
And this crawl space that we end up in a little bit is very true to reality as well.
Phase 4, back to New York City.
I like it.
All right, we take these ventilation ducts to the crawl space above the casino where we find the penguins. We just need to figure out which duct each of us should take.
Pause. Back with the bass. The jam is live in effect and I don't waste time. Go to the bike if it don't rhyme. Jump to the rhythm, jump to the rhythm, jump.
Great sound effects here.
Here's our first real 3D moment coming up here. And just a tip of the hat to our 3D consultant, Captain 3D. And it actually says that on his driver's license.
Phil McNally,
who's done a number of these films and is always just a great collaborator in finding the best 3D moments, and also helping us with cinematography as well, and how long maybe to stay on a shot to really justify the 3D.
Whoa, look at that! That is one ugly McGugly lady.
It was interesting, because we never done a 3D Madagascar before, and so we went back and looked at the old 1 and 2 to see, what are we going to have to do differently to take advantage of the 3D? But when you go back and look at those films, it's already kind of built into our style, to have things kind of coming out in your face anyway. So it sort of just worked with the style and the tone that we developed in the first 2 films. And it's nice when you can do it and not just do it gratuitously, but do it because it sort of fits into the story and the staging.
The rules of physics don't apply to us. Let it ride.
Right, Joe.
By the way, a lot of those names on those screens behind the penguins are a lot of the art department, aren't they? Their little, their login names.
Nicknames, yeah, login names.
That's the perk.
I drop down, grab the penguins. You crank me up, and we are out of here.
Oh, let me drop down. I'll grab the penguin.
You don't have fingers.
Didn't we actually try to reel ourselves up on a fishing pole at one point to see if it would work?
Maybe you did.
I think I did. Yeah, that's right. I was alone when I did that. I forgot.
But there was a physics expert that a lot of the effects people talked to from San Jose State. A lot of the physics and cartoon physics that are in this movie.
We'd always say, would this work? And he'd just be back there with a pad. No, wouldn't work.
Good, we'll put it in the movie. Yeah.
Great, it's a cartoon.
Maybe I should be in charge.
Melman.
I am a doctor.
No.
Why can't we all be leading?
Enough! I'm gonna leave.
You see all these crowds in the floor down there. It's a huge effort to render and animate all these people. We've got a whole department that's all they do.
Boozy green dress, finishing her drink.
Favorite character.
Aha! What's new, pussycat?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I always like that joke.
Right. Oh, man, we are so sorry.
Well, apology.
Tom Jones is laughing.
Yeah.
Skip phase 2. We didn't shoot them out. Don't look at me. I'm just following the leader.
Now, I'm a bit busy right now.
Just pull the switch.
Okay, fine.
You know, just to credit, too, with our editorial department, a lot of people don't realize the value that we do about editors and cutting a movie like this. And not only we have Nick Fletcher, who's done a dozen animated films as a pro, we also had Billy Weber, who's a live-action editor, come in, particularly in this scene, and to help, you know, cut it. And he cut films like Beverly Hills Cop and
a lot of Terrence Malick stuff.
Terrence Malick stuff.
Yeah, Tree of Life and things like that. But very, very good editor, very funny.
This joke always got a really great reaction. All the little puppy heads on the wall. There was half laughter, half aww, into laughter.
In fact, we cut 2 close-ups, one of a puppy and one of a kitten, I think, that maybe went a little too far, so we actually started the scene on the wide.
I have been preparing for my entire life.
It's Frances McDormand as our villain, Captain Chantel DuBois. She was amazing. She really has a lot to do with how this character came out. She, with her accent and her determination.
And she doesn't pronounce her R's. Yeah.
I'm hunting a lion.
Oh no! Lockdown, eh?
What do we do?
All right, everybody, stand back.
Okay, how many different times do we time that joke?
Yeah, we timed it, and then once we got music, then we had to retime it.
Mm-hmm. It was, I mean, we were like literally frame grabbing and frame cutting 15 different ways.
What just happened?
Where are we? What is this?
We call it the
And this is the larva, and you never see it pristine. It's always smashed up.
Yeah.
We had a pristine version. Didn't get to use it.
Every time I watch this, I do my own sound effects.
We used to have a guy in a red Ferrari suit going, "Oh no!"
See, I was there. I was there.
Amazing effects work here by
Yeah.
Scott Peterson and his team. I mean, all through the film, you really notice it in places like this, but there's other times where it's just a little dust from a footfall, and you know, there's a lot of work to do in films like this that keeps these effects guys really busy.
And that was always the conceit, to have a good reveal on her, which was this scene, but we needed to have her earlier. So it was very more mysterious. You see an eyeball, you see lipstick, you see feet, but this is really where she's revealed. One thing we did pull back on her was just all her animal moves. In fact, a vestige of that, she was walking like a spider when she walked past her men, and there were a lot of other types of antelope runs she would do, and we ended up losing a lot of stuff to keep her more of the Terminator villain.
So these streets, we really built out Monte Carlo. I mean, there's completely built out streets that never even made it onto the into the movie. We had, you know, tens of thousands of photographs of reference, and this is what Monte Carlo looks like.
Kendall was saying there's 2,400 buildings that were built for this, not including the stop sign, streetlights, trash cans, benches. What's great, you know, and where the line is blurry with live action, we actually have sets that we can go in and scope out and scout with our cinematographer, Nola Meyer, and his layout team. And, you know, often get different angles, especially in these action scenes, that we can actually take and cut together and get a real flow for the action.
Are you kidding? I don't drive. I'm a New Yorker. Move over, Miss Daisy.
We probably worked on this scene for a couple of years.
Yeah.
In layout and animation to just get the right mix of action and comedy.
This is known as Sequence 700, and I believe everyone made stickers that said I Heart Sequence 700 and passed them out. T-shirts, posters. It took a long time to do this.
In fact, I think if one person did it, it would have taken them 2 years, right?
No, if one person did it, it would have taken them 200 years, I think.
Oh, that's right.
That's how many man weeks. We count things in man weeks.
I think they figured out if you had, just for the rendering time, if you had one computer running continuously of the kind of computer that we used, it would take over 6,000 years just to calculate all the frames. And that's not all the work that goes into getting the stuff ready to be calculated.
Perfect case record.
I think on ants, I calculated it would be several hundred years. So things have just gotten increasingly more complex as the time goes by.
Backseat driving. A passenger seat driving. And I want...
By the way, just a testament to our actors, Ben and Chris here. There were a few times when we got them in a room together, and just to improvise. And you just say to them, you're fighting over the steering wheel. So all this material, you know, they kind of improvise on the fly because they're able to play off each other.
Oh, watch out!
We need more power. Time to fire up Kowalski's nuclear reactor.
I love Skipper's little kiddie seat.
Nuclear.
She's on the roof!
But sir, it's not ready. The control rods will have to be calibrated, and don't even ask me about the uranium-238 blanket.
Okay.
I always love that in the background of that shot is Julian getting slapped around.
Wasn't
With
that
a
an
big
animator's
smile on his
idea?
face?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Smack.
there's sometimes it's so dense you miss some of that stuff.
Yeah, for a long time I didn't know what Skipper was holding on to, and then I realized, oh, those are Melman's legs. Hairy legs.
More amazing effects work.
Yeah. You know, when we started mixing this movie and getting in real sounds, it started to feel like a Bourne Identity movie. And Will, our sound designer, you know, just hid little sounds, cartoony sounds like a bowling strike when it goes off the edge. And it just gives it it lightens it up just a touch so it doesn't get so dramatic, you know. It was a very effects-heavy film. This is a Jeffrey Katzenberg joke with Maurice smiling. Best joke in the movie. And one day we were in editorial, he goes, oh, you gotta have Maurice smile. And then he left. Yeah. And you go, okay. And then you put it in, and our first preview, people were howling at it.
Get out of here! Oh!
Eat cake on the back of that car. He is the king of Versailles, after all.
Didn't we really try this too?
This is a great musical idea from Hans Zimmer, who had his solo violinist Alexei. He just wanted to make this feel like a dance.
Everybody, on the monkey chain!
We had 10 music in there for a long time, but it never really brought out DuBois' personality, particularly here in the slow motion. There's probably more action music, but Hans decided he wanted to do this balletic violin solo.
It's great. It really changes the tone from... It just gives it a really funny drama to me.
Go!
Yeah, great little signature bit for her. Banana gun.
The effects guys actually made a banana gun that we could shoot. It was pneumatically powered.
Pumped it up to about 90 pounds of pressure,
and it could take you out.
Yeah, it obliterated the bananas, that's for sure.
Put your backs into it! Double banana overtime!
just looking at the corners of the frame, you see cars driving by and everything.
People on the street.
Yeah, it's insane, all the details.
Serpentine! Serpentine!
A lot of these cinematic ideas came from the layout department, who handles the camera, and did a lot of exploration to find the most dynamic, fun ways to shoot some of this material. There's a lot of invention that goes on, you know, really in every department. Because of the way we make these movies, there's sort of time for us to take advantage of all these incredibly talented, creative people. It's not like we just green light a script and then just go make the movie and it's all cut and dry. You know, whether it's the voice actor or the people in art and design or the animation, there's all this chance to plus things every step of the way.
Well, in each department, really, they really bounce back and forth well with each other, communicate what their ideas are, and get help from each other to make the scene the best it can be. It's really good.
The attention to detail is pretty spectacular, I gotta say, too, because the last wall she runs through before she jumps back on, she goes through a refrigerator stocked with groceries. And someone probably worked like a month to make all those groceries spill out. It's on for probably a half a second, but you gotta love...
And they painted the labels on the bottles and put celery in there and rendered the leaves on the celery.
New York, New York! Kowalski, status report.
So, we actually had to change the song. The actual lyrics are "Hell of a Town." It's been a song since the 1930s. But, you know, one of our previews, people objected to having that word, even though this song has been around nearly a century. So, at the last minute, we changed it to "Heck of a Town."
It was fun going back and get the actors, too, because they'd listen to the song and then they go, heck! And that was it. We just kind of put that in.
Hold on, Melman, okay? I'll get you down, sweetie.
Oh, where is he? Must find King Julian. King Julian!
Hot in here. So take off all your fur.
I am getting so hot. I want to take my fur off.
Skipper, what about the plane?
Well, the chimps will work through the night. No brakes, no safety restrictions. Hey, where you going?
It's tough because scenes like this are very important to how frenetic the movie is, because it is a cartoon and it is a lot of action and craziness. And so it's nice to have these scenes to kind of take a breath and get out of the action just a moment before we go into the next bit of action. It's part of pacing because you can really get fatigued if you just go wall-to-wall action on this stuff.
Kaput, blammo, busted. Never to fly again.
So that's it? That's it then. We're never gonna get home?
No, we gotta get home.
The fun is making fun of the French and making fun of French Canadians. And we like to consider it a equal opportunity insulter. So we're trying to at least get in a jab at every nationality, including Americans, throughout the film.
Here and we're not going home. We're never going.
Kind of remind the audience what these guys really want after all that craziness.
Mr. Fuzz!
We start to bring in these new characters now. A real challenge for us, is to, with these characters that we have from the earlier films, so rich and so well defined, to find new characters that can sort of play on the same stage with them. And I think we really found it between the characters in the movie and also the people that brought these amazing voices to them.
Hey.
Where?
Bryan Cranston as Vitaly. What an amazing voice that was. It's just so deep.
Absolute. No outsiders. So wipe that smearing off your face and pop
And he kind of nailed the Russian accent, too. Smirnoff, Popov, Absolute, vodkas.
His train is for circus animals only.
Yeah, and including Martin Short, too, really did his homework and would speak with a language consultant, Italian, so he'd come prepared to every recording studio with his
little cassette player,
his Walkman, and he'd listen to every line, even though she would say, io non capisco l'italiano. And then he would listen to it over and over, but he'd just get the phonemes right, And after a while, he was able to just chuck it aside and just go off.
Yeah, but those first few sessions, you'd be getting ready and you'd hear a, "Hello, Alex. My name is Stefano," and he'd click it off and he'd, do the line, act it out. But just hearing that lady in that little tape recorder is
it's
hilarious.
really dry and
just
without any kind of emotion. And then Jessica Chastain is Gia the Jaguar.
Please. They're circus. Circus stick together.
We didn't really know her when the casting director recommended her. None of her films had sort of hit the streets yet. And, of course, after that, she became a really big star almost overnight. And she was just incredible to work with and just brings so much warmth to Gia's character. You just fall in love with her.
Murray Soria, our producer, wanted to put blindfolds on us so we wouldn't be too distracted by her beauty and listen to her dialogue.
It was great when she came in. I had known her maybe a year before I'd met her, and when she came in, I mean, she really nailed that voice. I'm really happy I got to work with her and get to know her better, because her Italian accent as well, spot on. Really, really great.
What is your act, Alice?
Well, I
And this was kind of a new, how we approached the animation in this was to try what used to be done traditionally and have character leads. So certain animators were in charge of certain characters and would work with other animators to define their style. Bryce McGovern was one who took charge on Stefano and really even pushed his animation farther than we've ever done in these movies, which really adds to how broad a character he is.
Pull up?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Wire harness. Balloons. Jetpack.
Well, I flip off the wire harness, ignite my jetpack, and then toss balloons to the children of the world. Kids love it. Kids always love that.
Is this like the trapeze?
Yes! Trapeze! Exactly!
Wow! Trapeze Americano! Hey, I have a great idea! Maybe you come with us to Rome! Hey, Vitaly is just playing around. Hey, is it good, no?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, but you know what? We're gonna get off the next stop so we can get back to America.
That is such a coincidence. Because we're going to, let me finish! We're going to America as well! What?
America?
Going to America?
What? See?
Wow, when?
After Roma, we go to London, and then a big-time promoter will see us, and then send us to New York.
We're going to New York.
Well, only if he likes what he sees.
New York? Seriously? That's our home. That's where we live.
Isn't that fun?
Will we go with you?
Sure, you can bunk with Vitaly.
A lot of the stuff that we did with Martin Short, we had a reader, Stephen Kieran, who's a fantastic improv guy, and he'd come in and read with Martin and a couple other guys, and really brought a lot of great stuff out of him as well. That "Let me finish" was one of the ad-libs that came out of that. Was fun, really good.
Tell your comrades there is one rule we do not break.
Thou shalt say it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of this stuff is improvised by the actors. I mean, they'll have the script and we'll record that, but we always encourage them to step off the page and find different ways around a scene or different ways to read a line, or you know, they know their characters inside or out, and they might say, well, you know, I think my character might attack this way. It's a great luxury that we have in our process because it allows us to, you know, leverage off their talent and their experience. I mean, a lot of these guys are not only actors and comedians, they're filmmakers and writers, and they just play a big part in sort of shaping the characters and the stories. And so being in the recording booth can be hilarious because they, you know, you put somebody like Sasha in front of a mic and he can just go off, and, you know, we're just in tears laughing. Can't use a lot of it in the movie sometimes.
But, you know, yeah, Chris Rock might improvise something 1 month, and then when we record Ben a month later, he would add on to it back and forth over 2 years to make a scene. But a lot of the dialogue was nailed just by Noah and Eric when they wrote the screenplay. So as much improvisation that there is, there's also a solid foundation to work off of.
This is a fun sequence. It, like, doesn't really do anything except just have fun, and those are always the tougher ones to justify, but I'm so glad we were able to keep it in there because it just is a great little breather.
And Conrad boarded that, I remember, and it was like a 20-minute sequence that got boiled down to...
Yeah, it actually ended the movie.
In fact, if you added up all the scenes that we'd probably made during this film, it'd be an 8-hour movie.
Yeah. I love this sequence.
Yeah. This was a great joke.
Like, that was your idea, Tom. That was hilarious.
I love that sound effect.
There's so much logic behind Sonia's character, Sonia the bear, about why is she just a bear and everyone else can talk. But that was what made it funny.
Well, we always say fish are like... Maybe it's because all the fish she eats, because fish aren't talkers in our films either.
That's true.
Yeah, they can be eaten at will.
So make your own rules, kids. You know, again, we had the luxury of working with Craig Kelman, who has been our character designer since the first Madagascar, and he's always been great coming in and designing new characters. Vitaly, Gia, Stefano, Sonia here, the bear. And his influence is all over this movie, because even the world around these characters was designed to kind of contrast Craig's original work.
Hey, goddess. Has anyone ever told you that you look like a supermodel?
One of the challenges of animating Sonia was making sure that it was the real bear we were getting. There was a lot of, I guess the instinct was to, you know, make her as cartoony as the rest of the characters, and you know, really watching, the animators had to watch themselves and really kind of pull back and make sure that she stayed in that real zone, so that, because that was the joke, is that she was absolutely real, and getting that blank look on her face. It was actually kind of tough to do that, but when it hit it was fantastic, and I think they really succeeded on that level.
Seeing the hair in her mouth. I think it's funny how Carlos, the animator, decided to put it back in when she goes away. When she runs away, she puts it back in her mouth.
Yeah. Save that for later.
Excellent acting choice.
Yeah, you know, the animators just did a great job with this movie. I mean, like, there's so many different characters that move in different ways, and you know, we've got like 15, you know, kind of almost lead characters in this film, and just a huge challenge, and more characters on screen than any other film we've ever made. It's a monumental task, and you know, Rex Grignon, the head of animation, just found a way through some of the things that you were talking about, Tom, you know, to like assign characters to individual animators and really take ownership over the style, and it really made it possible for us to make it through this film. And some of the animation is just breathtaking.
And I hope you see it too, is how the animators would act out just with video a lot of their performances, which is a great way to just get it up quick and dirty to see, what would work and what didn't. So hopefully you'll get to see the live performances along with the final animation.
The Coliseum, Marty.
Yeah, Carlos just became Dubois.
Carlos Portolas.
Yes.
It was always fun to watch his video reference.
Very influential. He should have a character on TV where he just plays that type of a character.
Oh, exciting!
Remember, we just lay low. Stay out of the way. Let him do
This is where we get to meet really the other circus characters, the dogs, Vinny, Steve Jones, and who else?
Vinny Jones.
Steve Jones, Vinny Jones.
Vinny Jones.
The Jones
played the
brothers.
dog.
Nick Fletcher, our editor, does a dog.
Yeah. All the horses are by Paz Vega. All the Spanish horses.
All three of them.
The elephants are Manu and Maya, who used to be German, but actually their dialogue all got cut in the final.
They're very nice elephants, though. They're really great to work with.
Where's the bear? Sonia! We're about to...
Hey, Vitaly!
This sequence was particularly challenging just because of the camera. I mean, it's all one giant camera move. We had to find very elegant ways of cutting from one piece to the next so that animators could switch off, because it would be just a monumental task if one animator had to take that whole scene. So just little crosses in front of frame, and the way we whipped the camera around just kind of, it broke up the shot without making it look like it was a different scene.
That Polka Dot Afro was another case where Chris Rock just came in and we said, just sort of hum a circusy song, and you got an afro on and you got polka dots on your body, and he just did that just on the fly, and I'm sure you've heard it more than once. I know we have.
I can sing it backwards in my sleep.
This is great because we really didn't have this Roman set for this sequence at all. But, between matte paintings and just creative solutions to kind of complex ideas, they were able to create all these environments for us, which we didn't think we were going to be able to do.
I want to kiss every inch of your huge head. It may take me a number of weeks.
In fact, we didn't have the stairs, so we shot it from the back. We had this many stairs.
We only made that many stairs. That's all we had time for. Oh, there are a few more stairs.
Ronnie did this animation. I always love when he pulls his smile up.
Can't do something even better.
So the same way in Hollywood, the art department, we didn't have a lot of Rome sets for this sequence, and so they actually took some of the Monte Carlo sets and gave them a makeover to make Rome. As many of you know, that's how they do it in live action as well.
And there she go, the triple flip row with a double leap and... What are you doing?
This is a good example of, what Noah Baumbach could bring, to really find the dialogue for this dynamic between these two guys kind of getting to know each other for the first time.
I don't want you to think of me as some sort of authority figure.
And also Guillermo Navarro, who's always been our kind of cinematography consultant and always encouraged us for these types of scenes to not shoot conventional coverage of overs, but actually try and find ways to just shoot it with ourselves and find the angles or find ways to move the camera. And I happened to mention that when we were shooting a bunch of overs. So you don't get the benefit of what Guillermo brought to it, but he deserves a lot of credit.
I know the big cat with the accent wasn't so excited about us getting
Look, lion guy, this circus means...
Yeah, it was great listening to him dissect a scene and just show how the camera could show a point of view, how it could change point of view, enhance a mood. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he had mentioned just looking at really simple scenes.
It's tough to get Marty's makeup just right because he looked really creepy, and clowns are very creepy clowns, and they worked really hard to just bring in enough stripes to remind you it's him. And Zaragoza. You want to explain how Circus Zaragoza came to be?
It's just a location in Spain. It's a city in Spain, and so we thought it was a Spanish circus. Originally, we had a circus master that spoke more and was involved more in the story, and he was from Spain, and So we just picked a town in Spain to name it after. It turned out that one of our set designers is actually named Zaragoza, so we should just say we named it after him.
Come on, my hairy queen. We'll do donuts in the Pantheon.
By the way, after 12 years of making Madagascar movies, water is still hard.
You're in a big trouble. Now you're really in a big trouble.
We get to play the 3 cops, and the last one is Stephen Kieran, our reader.
Just the sound effect on those darts. You had to use that sound effect to make it funny. There was another sound effect that we tried, and it was painful. Just switching a sound effect can give you a completely different effect on that, different feeling.
Here we go!
This was a very tough scene.
This is the toughest scene in the whole movie. Because how do you make a scene about a circus being bad without it really being bad?
Every time we were like, oh, it's a boring circus. And it's really boring.
Yeah, when we went with the boring circus idea, I was like, yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, we've achieved boring. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's try exciting.
So
now.
then we did the exciting thing. Well, we'll
Yeah.
just have the kid.
By the way, the kid used to be a little girl that got sat on.
But we found that boys
deserved it more.
Deserved to be an elephant's butt.
I don't know, I still miss the little girl. Charlie Chaplin had a great quote. He said, "A man falling down a manhole is tragic. An old lady falling down a manhole is comedy." Which is still trying to understand.
Who's from Cincinnati?
The key to this scene really was just giving it a point of view, and actually Stefano kind of being the glass half full guy all through this kind of brought this scene together.
We had about 20 minutes of Martin Short doing Vegas. Hey, ho, who's from Cincinnati? Yeah. And that was hilarious to watch. I could just listen to the whole 20 minutes of that and crack up.
By the way, that whole scene, that entire scene was animated in India. And our good friends on the other side of the world, our time schedule was, backwards from, just seamlessly integrated all their work and lighting and effects. They did everything in that scene with what we were doing here in the States.
Yeah, we did work up in Redwood City studio and the Glendale studio and on the other side of the world in India. So we had a international, worldwide team of folks. 600? Something
600.
like that? 600.
72 animators and then 600 artists and technicians all worked on this movie. There are 1,200 euro bills floating around in that scene. I saw on a fun fact sheet.
We had a 3-hour meeting on
Here's Eric
choosing that many.
The acting stylings of Eric Darnell as the Commandante.
The comedy stylings.
I just did this for scratch, just so we'd have something to cut with, and then...
I think I'm that guy.
Yeah,
we
you're
slowed the voice way down.
Well, that's how I got the skipper role. I was just doing it to fill in a voice. And
before you knew it, it's like, that's the skipper.
Behind the innocent, a looking poster.
But if you notice, these guys are, a couple of them are the same kind of characters as her Acons. I should explain Acons. DuBois' henchmen, her animal control officers, are very similar, and they were taken from the same mold, basically, but redressed.
Let's go.
That was a great idea by one of our story artists, Rob Porter, to have her actually hiding in the mattress itself. He just went away, and we said, brainstorm ways that DuBois could get out of this jail cell. And he came back with these storyboard ideas, and it ended up in the film. It was really, really great. That's another way that, creative people can play a role in developing these scenes, and that's very early in the process where the storyboard artists are just doing basically comic books that they draw that give us an idea of how a scene might play.
Yeah, he took every prison escape thing. Escape from Alcatraz, Shawshank Redemption.
And we're not any closer to New York.
If anything, we're further away.
Could at least want a
I
certain.
always call it the scrimshaw contraption.
I love the gold teeth joke coming up here.
Are you kidding me?
You must have some money left over.
Oh, look, he took a bite.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that. Look at me pointing.
Shannon Jeffrey, the art director, came up with that idea of adding that little bite there.
I just remember doing that line with 6 cough drops in my mouth. And they were all menthol.
Yum.
I think 2 takes before spitting it out.
Master was so happy to sell.
He was happy, all right. Happy about ripping us off.
Where did Alex go?
I don't know.
So again, now we're back in India as they did this sequence.
Was this one of the first they did?
Yeah.
This way!
No, you come this way!
It's always hard to do night, even in animation, you know. It's almost like live action shoots day for night. They shoot during the day and then filter it to look like night. And to find the right balance so you can kind of see everything and is always challenging in any movie. But they kind of nailed this because it can easily go black, but if you look, there isn't really much black in it.
I'm fine!
Fantastic!
That was a beautiful set that we only saw for 1.2 seconds.
Yeah.
It was a huge set. And I remember them putting it in front of us. Do you like the stars? Do you like the mountains? Do you like the bridge? Is everything goes right by. This was where Guillermo Navarro really had a hand in how we shot this. We were going to just flip on the light and show the whole thing. And he said, you know, if you can just click on one light at a time and reveal in pieces, you know, the history of this circus, it's a way that you can use lighting and camera just to tell the story, which is really great. And by the time he's done with his story, the entire thing is illuminated.
Yeah, it really puts us in Alex's point of view.
Baby Vitaly there in the picture. Every one of those pictures was by the art department.
Some actors have to lose weight or gain weight to play a younger version of themselves, and luckily we had another model for Vitaly without the pot belly, and this is him in his felt days.
And he doesn't have the ruffled fur either on his shoulders. Because it's only after.
The tragic.
Became more prickly like a beard.
The tragedy. We made a conscious decision to kind of start this sequence out, you know, with less color, less black and white, and have Vitaly be the only color thing in it. And as we move through the sequence, it starts to get brighter and more colorful until it's really intense, and then it goes right back to black and white at the end, just to show the loss of confidence and fame in him. And I thought it was a really great the art department, really great choice they made. They had a lot of great artwork for that.
He got smaller, like the ring on the finger of the tiniest lady with the slimmest of fingers.
He would not stop a pushing. And one fateful day,
he pushed it too far.
Light the hoop on fire!
So here goes the color, as Connor was mentioning.
he fly too close to the sun, and he got burned. Literally. The extra virgin olive oil is extra flammable. And he lost everything. His wife,
Always gets a big laugh when dignity goes through the hoop.
Just so you get that sign.
It's one of those jokes where we didn't laugh at it once, but audiences were like, "Ha, dignity."
You got your dignity diploma, don't you?
Well, it's kind of like the Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz got his diploma, and all of a sudden he was smart, right?
Borscht. It was a tough time getting that exact purple around his lips so it didn't look like he just eviscerated something. Blood all over him.
I always like this scene because it really endears you to Stefano. He's kind of a simpleton, and but the whole thing is his idea to get them to reinvent the circus. So it's the littlest guy that has the biggest idea.
Way to U.S. and the A. Hey, I know. It is stupid idea. We're lost to
I always remember, because you would act it out for the animators, Conrad, with Stefano, of like, he would be thinking and have 15 different expressions within one line.
Well, there was 15 thoughts going through his head at the same time, very quickly.
Genius.
No. I'm only average intelligence. Some say I'm even slightly below.
We are gonna
So this is a fun, quick transition to get to it and get through it, is to have Alex just transition into 3 environments and then end up pitching it to the circus.
Never before seen off the chains.
Sometimes to have these economical transitions keeps it moving.
Yeah. It'd be really boring if Alex then had to explain on camera to the circus animals everything he just talked to Stefano about.
Generations, we make a good classic family into them.
It's worth mentioning, too, when you see these characters move around, and, animators do an incredible job with that, but they actually start as immobile, solid things that have no capacity to move. And then we have a whole team of people called character TDs, or character technical directors, who go in and design, character by character, this complex system of muscles and bones and tendons that allow the animators to move these characters around and have them actually do the right thing, so that when the arm bends, the bicep will come out a little bit, or that the hair will wave in the right way when the head turns. It's a monumental task.
Even just pulling that dress out like that was like, can the character TDs help us out with that? Sure.
But as an example, Alex has all these little controls on him. And there's something like 2,200 controls that the animators could do to move any little thing, including his fingernails.
Drunk off their maple syrup and cheap pharmaceuticals and completely flip the paradigm.
Watch Stefano in the background. In the nude. Hey. Just like little touches like that are great, and you only notice them like maybe second or third viewing.
Take off with the clothes.
This was kind of the big theme, because Cirque du Soleil did reinvent the circus by taking the animals out, and so the big idea here was to have an all-animal circus without people.
I say they can take the animals out of the circus, but they cannot take the animals.
And then Ben just kind of ad-libbed saying it twice.
Yeah, right. It's so funny.
And it just turned out...
I think you understand what I'm saying. And then Julian's response.
No.
No.
Because we've got passion. What is it?
His little head.
15 thoughts going through his head.
Well, we are animals.
Every time we, just another testament to the animators. Every time you go in here, you count the characters in the shot. Like right there were 5 or 6, and when you're looking at it, you have to go in and say, what's Gloria doing? What are the 3 horses doing? What's Marty doing? What's the bear doing? And just make sure that they're not doing the same thing, but all, acting in the same way, like they're listening to the same thing. It's really tough, especially a shot like this. There's like 15 characters on screen.
I love Robin did this animation. It was so energetic.
Me and you!
But I
It takes an animator a week to do just a couple seconds, just a few seconds of animation. Even longer if it's a lot of characters in the shot. It's a really time-consuming process.
I may not trust him either, but I am tired of sitting and standing and rolling over.
There is great tradition of sitting, standing, rolling over.
You know our circus is in trouble. This could be our last chance. But we will not do this without you.
This is where we first get to see the bond between the 3 main circus characters. Gia, Vitaly, Stefano. It's a really sweet little scene.
This is great, because this is something Noah Baumbach had kind of pushed for, too. It's like, it's always good to check in with them and how they feel about what's going on, too. Yeah. Because it really shows the other side of the story. So remember this scene had nothing in it. I think it was you, Conrad, who just, I remember it was a very dialogue-heavy scene about her getting her men to go after the animals. And I believe it was you who mentioned, like, wouldn't it be great if she sang Rianne, Rianne?
I think I sang it in the room.
You ended up recording her, didn't you, Eric?
Yeah. Frances McDormand wasn't sure because she says, I'm not a professional singer, and I would want to do the song justice. So she came in for a recording session, and she said, I'd really wish before I did it, I'd have a coach and I'd have time to work on it. And we said, well, just go ahead and do it quick today, and that way we'll have something that we can sort of mess with an editorial, and then, we'll give you time to feel comfortable with it and maybe come back later. And she said, all right, well, if that's the case. And she got in front of the mic. And this is what she did. First take. We did it once more for coverage, but we ended up using her very first take in the final film. And it's incredible, really.
It was inspired. And the mascara running down all their faces.
Ça commence avec toi.
Fran really hit that note, though.
Yeah, she
Hats
did
off
it.
to Fran.
More boom, Mr. Rico.
This was one of the more difficult sequences in the movie, showing everyone learning their new acts for the circus, the new circus coming together.
There's always scenes like this in a movie that are always the half-hour scene.
Yeah, the montage.
The 20-minute scene that needs to find a way. I think every movie has these kind of lull points, and so we did a lot of editing and intercutting, actually, to finally get this scene to work.
Yeah, we tackled this in 3 or 4 big chunks. And it says separate scenes. And for a long time, it was really long, and it was really laborious, and we were just watching it in 4 separate chunks, and then we kind of just started looking at this all as one big chunk, and it came, that's when it really came together.
That sound effect when he hits the side of the rock.
The tennis.
Yeah. We had something more realistic, and it wasn't funny, and somehow that chalk.
For the longest time, that joke was not fun. We tried timing it, we tried cutting it, we tried getting rid of the scream, putting the scream back in. It just wasn't hitting, and then in our mix, we popped in that tennis serve, and it was, that's what hit it, and it gets a chuckle now.
Here's a big 3D moment here. For the longest time, we never saw the clouds until, and we'd been watching this shot over and over with a grid on it for a year, and then finally, in the last moment, you have to have patience with this medium, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we might record an actor, and we might not see the scene done that they just did the voice for like 2.5 years.
But now why? I'm proud of you, but I don't think I can hold on much longer.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry about my enthusiasm. Here, wrap this around you.
And the luxury for us, too, is just to sell the height. Remember, there was a grassy area below Stefano, and it just looked miniature. So long after we had finished the shot, just thinking, can we do anything else? And Kendall and Shannon added all these trees and helped make it even better. Another way, you can just plus it down the line. Even though it's already done, you can make it better.
Triumph!
Oi, what you doing?
Hey, put your weapons down. Come on, guys, chill out. Cute and cuddly's obviously not your thing.
What? Oh, he's got us pegged.
I got a better idea. Show him, Rico.
Oh, that was great! Rocket shoot! Come on!
Hey, hi.
I admire how you have inspired these animals.
Oh, thanks.
And what you said about the passion, it was like...
We had some background voices going on there between Marty and Stefano, and I can't remember what it was that he was saying. But it was funny, and it totally took you over to their story instead of paying attention to this one.
Oh yeah, Nick cut it in. It was like Stefano going, I'm never gonna find my horns again. I don't know whatever happened to my horns. And then meanwhile, Marty's talking about something completely random.
different. It was just background while it was just like, I think Martin Short ad-libbed something about, I finally found my horns. Until I lose them again, I will never see my horns.
You want excitement? Haha! Check it out. Who's on a tightrope?
Remember, the Gloria Melman story was always very difficult.
Yeah.
It ended up being so simple. I think there was a time when they were,
They got a big fight.
They were getting
Hit
on
a
each other's
lull in their
nerves, and it
marriage.
just wasn't any fun to watch. And so, it boiled down to Melman having this fear of dancing and her knowing how to help him through it, And like Eric was saying before, when you have 15 characters, you're juggling into this tapestry of a story. Screen time is so valuable in an 80-minute movie, and but sometimes you have to explore all these avenues within the characters to boil them down to the, some say these movies you only keep the best 15% of what you actually output, and that's what ends up on the screen.
Because you dance so well.
You practiced? For me?
Yes, but it's no use. I never know what to do with my arms.
Hold it.
That line came from Emily Nordwind, our editorial supervisor, who was talking about dancing, and it always made her feel awkward because she never knew what to do with her arms. So we ended up writing it into the script.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
Especially with Gloria's follow-up.
You're great.
Woohoo! I'm dancing!
Okay. All right.
So when do we get the jetpacks and aquatic cobras?
Well, this is a beginner's class, and that's a pretty advanced maneuver.
Okay, how do we begin?
Well, it's a bit complicated unless you understand the whole pitch and yaw. arc and gravity, all that stuff, which I won't bore you with. Okay.
You need a push.
No.
Originally, this piece of music was actually written for Julian and the Bear.
Always comes as a surprise.
But, you know, we found a new piece for them, and this felt like such a sweet tune that it would be perfect for the Alex and Gia love story.
Life, well, it always has a twist.
A lot of great animation here by India. And getting the weight right on all this trapeze-ery, it's pretty tough. Just the way that they land and hang and the way that you swoop through. It's really tough getting the weight right, and they did an outstanding job. And this gets a big laugh just because of that.
But alone, just a dreamer on my own, and
I just love, you know, the innocence of the scene and how Gia just accepts Alex and even throws herself into a pole because that's what he says, and it makes this sequence really sweet, and her character so charming. And then, of course, later it underscores when she realizes that it was all just fabricated.
Wow!
One thing you don't realize with the action, particularly Ben, is there's so many efforts they have to do between the lines. They say their lines, but in an action sequence like that, they have to bite their knuckles and go, ugh, you know, and make all these vocal efforts over and over again without knowing what's really going on in the scene. And it's hard work. It's hard work because they're just there with a mic and a stand, and it's a big leap of faith for them to get up there and just, you know, say you're falling down a hill, and they provide those efforts for it, you know. It's kind of half of what they do, you know, between the lines.
Pronto.
But we're not ready. We're in the middle of rehearsals.
Well, then why don't you lilt over, grab your peduncle, and kiss New York goodbye?
There's your peduncle line. You have to look it up, kids.
I had to look up and Google
Google
what a peduncle was.
Go! All right, you heard the cat. Move it. Come on, all aboard!
For a power
Grab your
train.
luggage and drain your bladders. It's gonna be a long ride. Whoa!
We didn't realize the train's all repainted now. It was a much bigger deal before, but it kind of got boiled down to just this one shot.
This is a really nice scene for Vitaly because he's been relatively gruff and distrusting of the zoo animals, and it's nice to just get his point of view and really understand what he's feeling and how freaked out he is about all this, and gets you on his side a little bit more, which is nice.
Remember, we had two scenes. One was Vitaly trying to practice with Stefano, and Stefano encouraging him, and there was this scene, and this one just told the whole story, so we didn't really need the other one.
Where'd they get that new big top?
They sewed it.
There was a whole scene about how they built that new
Yeah.
big top.
And it fits the 120,000 people we put in there. It's the biggest circus I've ever seen.
Get the show on the road. Right. Tell him the eagle has landed.
Just so you know, the American promoter was originally DuBois' boss, right? And in the scene where he fired her from animal control, and she went
Minister of
rogue
State.
and went on her own.
That was one of the scenes where you struggle, you rewrite it, you reboard it, you struggle, you rewrite, you reboard it for months and months and months. And then I think it was Tom that said, "Do we need it?" We went, ha!
And then
We're
instead you
done.
just have her say, "Finally, the king of the beast," and you know exactly what she's at.
Exactly. One line takes care of it.
Wipe away the tears. Calm down. Where is he?
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, that's great. Great performance, both by Martin and the animator.
Yeah, I think we have about 20 minutes of crying. And Martin Short was just like going, "You're going to want this, hold on." He just did 20 minutes of crying. It was, oh man, we used all of it.
Right foot, I can't walk.
You get fake foot, then you walk.
I don't want fake foot, okay? What happened to circus stick together, huh? Show must go on.
The thing where the animator brings so much to it. They start fighting over their stuff, and then our animator Lou had the shot with the ball of yarn.
Yeah.
We opened it up like 3 seconds, so just so they could do that. It's always just a great moment.
Where's that Vitaly?
That Vitaly is no more.
Listen, man, you may have given up on yourself, but your friends haven't given up on you. Are you just gonna turn your back on them and sit and eat borscht the rest of your life? Or are you gonna get out there?
I always love Ben's performance in this, you know. I remember the scene, you know, Ben was, I think he was filming in Atlanta, and he had done a full day of shooting, and it was like 10 at night, and he still came in the studio and did 3 hours, and one of them was these scenes, this scene right here. And he always gave us 110%, even after a full day of his normal job. He's such a pro.
I remember that. He went until his voice was starting to crack.
Hoarse.
It's just like, and he kept going.
So be it. You know, I think I might have an idea for you.
Oh, there's a great little the knife throwing board. It has Alex's outline on it. If you've noticed that Vitaly practices throwing knives at Alex.
Light the hoop on fire!
Every time I see those group shots, I'm always thinking, what's the bear thinking?
We'll never know.
Fish.
We actually debated about seeing or not seeing Vitaly go through this
that's a
hoop.
big debate.
But it just seems like, for us, it was like the imagination is much stronger than actually seeing the grotesque image of him squishing through this tiny little keyhole. So we just left it off camera. And
It feels like he's doing the impossible
Yeah.
if you don't see it.
Absolutely.
You know, to get the afternoon.
Come on, you got it.
like that eagle, too. That's
Mad 4 is about the eagle, right, basically? And the 3 Italian cops. So here's crowds. Again, are very difficult to do, and I believe we had 500,000 crowds from the fun fact sheet.
Yeah. There was one shot, I think, that had over 30,000 crowd members in it. Probably one of these.
Compared to the first Madagascar, which probably had 100,000 maximum, which at the time was record-breaking.
And welcome to Madagascar Psychedelia.
So this is really graphic and really stylized about approaching this night to remember with their circus performance. Layout department, art department, effects department.
This is a scene when you're watching it, I mean, that just really, this is a DVD and everything, but the 3D in this scene, just watching this in 3D is fantastic.
And Nick Fletcher did a great job cutting it to the music, you know, and he kind of boiled down a lot of these shots down, and he had the track and really timed it and cut it to the music perfectly.
But it was tough. I mean, this scene is like, we want to do this amazing, great circus, and it is animated, and, you know, you can't just show an amazing circus act because the stakes really aren't there. And this was more about a celebration anyway. And so when we locked onto this idea, it really gave us the right tone, right feel, and the fun that we wanted to have in it.
But it was important that the characters find themselves in this circus, so it is a celebration.
That was a last-minute decision right there, because it used to be just Alex going down and seeing what he's created, but we thought it might be nice if they shared a moment just to kind of bond their relationship a little bit more.
And then right before they smash into the keyboard.
Yeah.
Without the
Cut out just in time.
Remember, kids, don't smoke bananas.
They might blow up in your face.
It's for comedy only.
Intelligence after all.
Perhaps even slightly above.
No, I don't think so.
Ha! Hair conditioner, great idea!
Now he's back to his smooth shoulders thanks to the hair conditioner.
Yep, that's all he needed. Little peaches and herb.
There's some wonderful Gia animation in through here. It's just so charming.
Cam did a great job with her on that.
We did pretty good.
You will flip, and I will catch, and sometimes I will flip, and you will catch, and then we will both flip, and we will travel all the way.
We had these costumes that were just insane on them.
Oh, yeah.
That were so bright and so vivid, and Alex had his nose all painted, but it just looks so bizarre in these emotional scenes, so we actually really had to dial back kind of the off-stage makeup and make it more like, you know, they're under black light when they are on stage, and then it's very minimal here.
Oh, bravo. What a heartwarming performance, Monsieur Circus Master. It brought tears to my eyes.
There was a whole scene where she was seducing the king of Versailles because he was her type of guy.
She liked his scent.
And his shade of lipstick.
And she was going to teach him how to properly put it on from behind in the mirror.
Right.
And then they ended up actually kissing at the end of it.
And then he shoved her into a cage or something.
And then it goes into the category of, what were you thinking?
Outgoing!
Wait!
Up high! Hoo-ha! Down low! Too slow. Well done, Private.
Did I do good?
Nah, not really.
Poor Private.
I know.
Alex? You are from a zoo?
Yes.
These are tougher scenes to do, particularly for acting, because sometimes you're just showing the characters listening and reacting and not just talking, which is tough, especially, with how many characters are in each shot.
Through together. You want to go live in a zoo?
Gia,
You used us.
No.
Yeah, again, they're all reacting, but they can't react the same to the same information.
So the animators really have to kind of jump inside the heads of the characters. How does Vitaly feel about it? How does Stefano feel about it?
To the children of the world was not real either.
Well, yeah, that's not real, but look at what...
But I love in every scene that Stefano's and Marty's helmets change color in every scene.
But I thought it was a lifelong dream. For all I know.
They actually are iridescent, so it actually does affect sometimes, what color's coming off depending on the lighting angle. But I think there's a couple places where Stefano's red helmet, right? And then he's got a blue helmet.
Gia,
We trusted you.
My tears are real.
Great line from Marty. He ad-libbed that on the way out.
I can't believe you lied to all us circus folk.
Fantastic. And you did the big
I love that Skipper has a little monogram on his
snot rag, yeah.
We should dodge.
Whoa!
Stop it!
This is good. Conrad boarded this scene, and he did this drawing of the bear's expression coming up here that was so funny. That. And the animators took his drawing and just nailed it. They nailed it, which was really hilarious.
Getting the silent treatment, am I? Come over here right now. Don't shut me out, baby! What is wrong with you? Speak!
All this breakup for a long time was leading to a scene with Alex and Julian commiserating over what it means to be king and
what it means to change your life and be in love.
Yeah.
That's when we had Alex and Gia. The romance between the two of them was a little more stated, and so that Julian and Alex had similar paths that they were on, and they could commiserate with each other.
it was such a great scene, it just didn't fit anymore with the story. As you can see, there's the Freedom Tower.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the first movie to have it in there.
It should be. What was it? You were with Murray in New York?
I was with Murray in New York, and we saw it, and it was still being built. So we got on the phone, said, "When is that thing going to be finished?" And we found the date. And we said, "Well, that's going to be before our movie comes out, so we can put it in."
Which is kind of poignant because in earlier versions of Madagascar, when we're in New York, we had the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Solo acting with Marty.
And what do I do? Go back to sitting and standing and rolling over?
No. We can do impossible.
Here's some more Marty Short crying.
The way it used to be
isn't the way it was.
And it won't be the same without them, whatever way it is.
Well, we're here.
Home.
Huh. My rock looks smaller than I remember it.
Look at the mural.
We went back and forth on should we see them get back to their enclosures or should they wait at the gate, and finally sort of standing at the gate and actually making that choice to not set foot back in there seemed like the stronger way to go. And then really opened the door for us then to put them there after they'd already made the decision not to step in.
Here's, if you've already watched the movie, Son's commentary, we were always wondering, how does a hippo, a giraffe, a lion, and a zebra walk through Central Park at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and not get seen by anybody?
And we just turned off the people.
And we just said, well, yeah, turn off the people. And so I'm wondering, it's one of those questions that, I think they call it a refrigerator question.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, after you get home, you open the fridge for a snack and you go, hey, wait a minute.
Everybody's at the circus.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
I'm really gonna miss those guys.
It's funny though, sometimes we call it the logic police, You can just logic yourself out of a great scene or a great idea, and really, it's not about the people, it's about the emotion of these guys and having this epiphany and making this decision to change their lives. And if that lands, you're not thinking about that other stuff.
Hey, is my neck getting longer?
Feel my fur. It's so soft.
A lot of ad-libbing going on here.
Gloria gets like 50 darts.
Oh no. DuBois.
Sonia, I miss you, baby. I miss my stinky bed.
One time her man used to talk, but it just felt better to have them pantomime and she be the voice.
Surprise! He will never fit.
We also had her come out with a chainsaw at one
up.
point, but it got pretty dark, and a saw that warbles is much funnier, especially for you little tykesters.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sonia, where are you? Sonia!
Here's a great bit of dialogue recording Sasha. Maybe you want to explain it.
Yeah, the original line in this scene, Julian is pouring his heart out to Sonia, and he said, I was so worried about who I was being king and who you were being in the circus that I never fully realized what was really important is what we were together. And Sasha looked at that and said, it's a good line, but it's not in Julian's voice. He wouldn't say it like this. So instantly he turned it around and said, it's not the way I smell, and it's not the way you smelled. It's what we smelt like together. And it was just like a perfect way to kind of key in that sentiment into Julian's voice. It kind of just goes for all our actors. And, they know the characters so well, and even the new characters, the actors really got into it and just channeled the voice, not just voice-wise, but just, what they said. They really know the character enough to tweak a line and make it that character's singular line. But that was a really good example of that.
Where are you?
Gloria!
Oh,
Are you okay?
what is happening?
We also had to justify how they couldn't get out. And so we actually rent a fence.
Yeah.
There's actually little signs that say rent a fence on them.
Thank you all for coming to this special celebration. And now, the woman who made this all possible, who brought Alex the lion and a couple of... Three?
There's Dan, the mayor, another one of our readers who work with the actors, and so it's nice to give them a part, so he plays the mayor.
He also plays the guy who calls animal control in the casino.
Right.
Just a testament to the lead on this, Carlos Portolas. We had this dialogue-driven scene here where she actually made a speech to everybody. And he just thought it'd be fun, and to pantomime it, and so he just filmed himself doing this.
Alex?
It was never about the money. It was about the lion.
Great little device I think he came out with, Tom, putting the gun into the Alex hand.
Guess you can't pull a gun in Central Park without being noticed.
And we get into this climactic scene that, we'd already done this good circus, and we had to figure out how to take it up a notch higher. We're outdoors, it's great. We've got the music playing, we've got the afros on everybody's head. There's also a lot of theatricality to the way we handle the lighting and what Kendall and Mahesh and those guys set up with the colored spots that become, really theatrical and not real in a sense, but really help tell the story and in a really fun, vibrant way.
And Scott Peterson on effects.
Yeah.
2 tons of fun!
Also, the camera guys, our layout guys, Noel and Dave Bianchi, they came up with a lot of great gags and stick, and like later on when Stefano's trapped and Vitaly throws the knives to make a ladder, it was all the ideas of our layout team, and so these are all big collaborations.
Yeah, between the story department and the layout team, this whole sequence really came to life. We used to have, this was a tough one to crack because we, at one point, we had a giant robot penguin that burst out of the ground.
Which would have been spectacular.
It had fireworks coming out of its wings, and then we said, okay, let's try. And then they took the train off the tracks.
No, we pulled the train in, and it did an e-brake in there, and
obliterated about 35 people, and that was maybe too much, so stuck with the circus, but this...
I like that penguin idea, though. That was your idea, Tom. It was the penguins built it for Y2K.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to use it, and so...
They got to use it now. Mad for. But it did ultimately seem more satisfying to change roles, and Alex throws her into his enclosure, because she's the animal. And
kid.
And it felt more organic to the story to play it out as is.
Sorry, I had to point out that kid getting the blue ice cream in the face.
Any kid that eats blue ice cream probably deserves it.
Come on, baby!
Doink.
Stefano!
Boom.
Help me!
I would just sit here and do sound effects for it.
We used to have a bunch of crowds in here watching this going on that they put in.
With horrified
and
looks on
they're
their faces.
smiling and clapping while Stefano's getting dragged
getting-
away. So we had to shut them all off and keep them more isolated.
Don't fail me now! What are you doing?
We are doing trapeze Americano.
Let's do it!
So, just to harken back to, the idea of them telling this lie about how they were in the circus, and then that being the thing that breaks them up, and then being able to, prove their worth here was just something that evolved in the story, and hopefully is satisfying that, you can live up to the lie. It kind of became part of the heart of this reconciliation.
Aquatic cobra?
If I am going down, your
Where'd the
she's got
saw
the
come
saw.
from? Who knows?
It's one of those collapsible saws.
That's right.
You're going down, but not with my head.
Again, there's just crowds, there's effects, there's lighting, there's so much going on in here, and
Like
the
it's
amount of
biting him.
time we have to do it, it's pretty much a miracle to see it all come.
This is where animals like you belong. Now sit. Lie down.
Naughty me.
Roll over. Good Dubois.
Yay, Morton Maurice are the heroes. They don't get much screen time, but when they do, it's worthwhile.
Tender moment.
Circle blur.
Trapeze Americano!
It is real.
It's serious! Make him go! You're gonna leave him
That's how you do it.
Everyone's got their afro wigs.
So, you want to run away with the circus?
Now I'm just watching the movie. It's like, God, this is so charming. Oh.
This last song here was a big mashup, and we got at least 5 or 6 versions of this. We finally got the move it into the Afro circus, but it turned out really well.
Got to get move it in there.
And this was a huge scene for India. I mean, look at all these characters dancing.
And the dancing, which is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
On their way to Connecticut, I think?
Yeah, it was Connecticut, and it used to be an important story point, but then it just became...
That's where they wanted to go in the first movie. They finally headed there.
Yeah.
And then this was a nice little wrap-up, I thought.
But we just wanted to play the joke on the freedom fries
Yeah.
a few years back. So it's freedom fries, freedom
Dressing.
toast, freedom dressing, and
Freedom dip sandwiches.
Ba-boom. The end.
End of film.
We hope you enjoyed the audio commentary. And if you reached this by mistake, you must be really frustrated you weren't able to turn it off. So, thank you, and hope you enjoyed the movie.
And stay for the credits. There's a lot.
These are beautiful credits, by the way. I will add, it's we had at least 5 or 6 meetings about these credits at the end. What kind of sparkles, how big the names, but they all turned out really, really well. There's Tom McGrath. Skipper. Go ahead, give him a little skipper.
Movie's done. Over and out.
I like to move it. You like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. I like to move it. You like to move it. Body nice, sweet, fantastic. Big ship on the ocean and the big Titanic woman and earth. Sweet, fantastic. Big ship on the ocean and the big. Let's roll.
Love always comes as a surprise. You don't need to close your eyes, 'cause soon you'll recognize its colors. Life, well, it always has a twist, something new that can't be missed. And you know I can't resist this feeling I used to feel so far from home. I thought all hope had flown, just a dreamer on my own. And I know life's complicated, but we have to try to find our own future. With you at my side, we can all work together to build something new. I know you can see it, let's make it come true.